Hey guys, TSW here. I'm just going to do a quick Fury DPS guide, just what the rotation is and what you should be, or what kind of gear you want to be going for. I've not got that great DPS gear, but I'll run through it now whilst I have a DPS spec, because I will most likely go for another tank spec when we start doing more hard modes. You can see the gear here. I'm going for armor pen in every slot except for when I get the crit, because you can't get armor pen crit, nor can you get armor pen stamina. Meta bonus, or the meta gem I'm using, is 21 crit, 13 crit damage, but a lot of people you see using a Jill and a 3% increased crit damage, I think. That's this one. And that is worse, but it means that you don't need 2 blue gems. You can get away with just having one of these plus 6 stat gems, or the epic version, which is plus 8 stats. Anyway, this is the rotation. You're going to be using your Blood Rage and your Battle Shout or Commanding Shout, whichever one you've been told to do. The priority order is Bloodthirst, Whirlwind, and then when you get instant slams, do slams. Bloodthirst is the move you want to be using the most. And it's the priority move. Whirlwind is the next in line, and then it's slam. So you can hear a guy's voice saying slam. That's an add-on, which I'll get to in a minute, that tells you when your slam's proc. You only have about 3 or 4 seconds to do the slam, but if it means missing out on a whirlwind with Bloodthirst, you want to ignore the slam. So you can see me doing my rotation here. I'm doing about 4.2, 4.1k DPS just by doing these 3 moves. And then, when we're confident with doing these 3 moves, you can bring into the rotation Heroic Strike. This is what you want to be using when you're above 60 rage. You want to avoid getting 100 out of 100 rage. It means that that's Heroic Strikes you could be using. And if you're ever unsure on your slam, because obviously you never want it to cast, just keep moving left and right, or backwards and forwards, just to make sure that you don't start casting, because it won't let you cast it if you're moving like this, which is something that I find that helps quite a lot. And basically, in a raid environment, you can more or less just spam slam. Although, according to patch notes and Blizzard comments, it's not going to be like this forever, just having slam being spammed all the time. So you can see my DPS is going up, it's just under 5k doing all this. And you can see I'm capping quite a lot, but it's because I'm not spamming it. In a raid environment, it would just be spammed and it would be no problem. And they're the 4 moves that you need to worry about. Mainly, your Bloodthirst, which is your priority ability, your Whirlwind, which is second in line, and your slam. And your Rage Dump is your Heroic Strike. Swap out Heroic Strike for Cleave if you're on AoE packs. Other than that, use Heroic Strike. And you have 2 cooldowns, one being Death Wish, which means you do which means you receive 20% more damage, but you do 5% more damage. You want to try and time this with a with a Bloodthirst or Heroism and a Haste Bot, so you can do lots and lots more damage. And you have Recklessness as well, which means your next 3 abilities definitely crit, but all damage taken again is increased by 20%. And Circumstance here means that you do 3% more crit, but you take 5% more damage. So you take more damage than a Arms Warrior, but you generally do more damage. And that's the Fury rotation. For gems and enchants, you have a talent, I'm not quite sure what it's called here, Precision, which increases your chance to hit by 3%, meaning you don't need 3% hit rating. The hit cap is 9%, so this means your hit rating, if I can do my maths, is 6%. So you can see I'm just under 0.3% over. So this means that I don't need to worry about hit rating at all. However, if I was under that, I would be gemming for hit rating and putting any gear that would be worthwhile with hit rating on. And the question whether or not to gem for armor penetration. If your gear is or has at least 50% armor penetration on it, you can see here with the add-on rating buster, you can see what it says 16 armor penetration and then plus 1.14. You might need to have it in HD to see that, but anyway, it tells me that I get 1.14% armor penetration from that one gem. Go through all your gems, and like here my belt gives 5.07, add that all together. If it's more than 50, gem for armor penetration. If it's not, gem for strength. But generally, you'll see everyone going for armor penetration. Same with trinkets. Get yourself some nice trinkets. Everyone goes on about trinkets, but ultimately it's the weapons which do your damage. And for weapons, some people you see roaming around don't have the weapons in the correct hands. You see here I've got my axe and I've got my sword. Now the general rule would be to have the slower weapon in the main hand, because this sword, the Reckoning, is 3.5, whereas Brimtroll is 3.4. So what I think anyway is that automatically the Reckoning should go in the main hand, but that's not right, because the item level on the Brimtroll is a lot higher and it's on a high instance or raid, and this means you need to look a little bit closer. Because if they're both the same item level, it would be the slower weapon would be in your main hand, because not all your abilities, but most of your abilities in the whole game are done by your main hand, and your offhand just needs to be there doing the damage. Your main hand needs to be slow, so you hit less frequently but higher, and it scales better with your abilities. And you can see here that the damage on the weapon is between 801 and 1203. And that's what your auto shots are going to be based on. And the Reckoning is 715 to 1074. So basically, Reckoning does more damage per swing, so you want that in your main hand. And preferably you want it to be slower. If it was slower, those numbers would be higher. The 801 and the 1203 would be higher. So you want to try and aim for a slow weapon, but in this case it's 3.4, which isn't quick at all. In fact, it's a rather slow 200 weapon, but it's a lot better than Reckoning in my main hand. And just basically go for your regular stamina chance, not stamina chance, attack power and DPS enchants, much like the threat enchants on my warrior tank gear and enchants. My helm isn't enchanted, unfortunately. My shoulders are, my cloak is, my chest is. So you just attack power berserking on both weapons and try and gem everything. I know my ring isn't gemmed, and also go for your belt buckle always. Hope this helped any of you Fury Warriors out there. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be Fury for, but I personally hate Fury. I really loathe it. You have 3 buttons to do while spamming your heroic strike, and I don't enjoy it at all. So much for arms. I will most likely do an arms guide when I have that spec on me, and I do enjoy it a lot more. And I'll probs do a PvP guide for arms and PvP guide for protection. And yes, protection can be PvP. If any of you have ever duelled a protection warrior, yeah, the chances are your probs died, because they have so many interrupt, stuns and charges and spell flex and fears and last stand and everything. It adds up so much, and they don't even hit that weak. Just a quick note that the add-on you can see between my player and my target is Watcher. It's not configured at the moment, and you'll just see slams there all the time, but you can configure it so it just goes around, and it just basically shows you your rotation. It's a really good add-on for any warriors. It doesn't work with all classes though, really, but you can have a play about with it. The glyphs that I'm using are Whirlwind, Execution and Heroic Strike. These are pretty much the glyphs that you have to use. Miners, I've not done my miners. You probs want none of these, just go for whichever ones you like. It doesn't make too much difference. I'd go for Battle, and I'm not sure off the top of my head which other ones I'd go for. And the spec is 18, can't read it, 1853. There'll be links to these and all sorts of other things on my website. Anyway, cheers for watching, and thank you, and subscribe if you want to see any more videos from me. And that's it. Bye bye. Do a little wave. Bye.